Hey guys, this is my folliculitis story, and I just wanted to share this story with you. If you're dealing with folliculitis, or if you know someone who's dealing with folliculitis, so you can gain some insight of what it is and how I dealt with it. So here's my story. About 2 years ago, I had decided to cut my own hair. I had went to Walmart and purchased the cheapest clippers that they had, and those were grooming clippers. I thought maybe if I could cut my facial hair with them, then I can cut my hair. Well, what I failed to realize was that you're supposed to clean your clippers after each use. I was cutting my facial hair, which where it had a lot of bacteria at, and I was moving that bacteria from my face to the back of my head when I was cutting my hair. After a day or so after I had cut my hair, I was realizing that I was getting acne. And I'm like, well, that's an odd place to get acne, but you can get acne anywhere. So maybe it'll go away within a week or so. Well, that week turned into a month and a year of just downright craziness, pain, and man, I tell you, having folliculitis is not the deal. And especially for a person who loves their hair. I mean, do I sound conceited? Probably not, but I like to take care of my hair, but I wasn't. After that week or so, I was like, well, something has got to give. Let me go online and find something on how to cure it. So I typed in scalp acne, and what came up was folliculitis, and I pretty much diagnosed my own self with folliculitis because I was reading all the symptoms of folliculitis, and I was like, well, I got fat, and I have that, and I have that going on. Yes, I have folliculitis. Well, there's a whole bunch of articles online about folliculitis, but there was nothing about curing it. I wasn't going to go to a doctor, because, I could probably take care of it myself. I could probably nip it in the bud. But eventually, I went to the doctor because it really got terrible. But in that time being, I tried to find my own remedies. I came across two people on YouTube who had folliculitis, and they have remedies of how they, cured their problem. And I used some of their tips and everything, but I guess I waited too long because whatever tips they had was not working with me. So, like I said, I went online and there wasn't any, types of remedies that you could use to take care of yourself. The only thing that I saw online was tea tree oil. And there's like something in tea tree oil. I have a little bottle right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. But in tea tree oil, it has, some cleansing benefits in there, and it purifying types of benefits in there. And I was using that, and it worked for a little while, but after time, your hair grows, and I wasn't thinking, and I was cutting my hair again. I think I've cut my hair about 2 or 3 times with those clippers, not realizing that I was just doing more damage to my head. I've used so many remedies of my own to get rid of folliculitis, but I think I really did wait too long because I think I had a really bad infection. I went from using, and I have a lot of stuff right here to show you guys. I went from using white vinegar. I would pour it in a squirt bottle, and I would squirt it all over my scalp. And I would put a shower cap on, and let all the vinegar saturate on my scalp, and pretty much kill off the bacteria, because white vinegar has some benefits in it as well as to killing bacteria. My mom is a herbalist, and she's really into being healthy and keeping the body clean and purified. So she sent me to the health food store, and the people at the health food store, they put me on a dietary supplement called caprylic acid, and I still use this to this day. As you can tell, I'm almost out of it. But this stuff really works. It basically it just takes out all the bad bacteria and it keeps in the good stuff, because your body is supposed to have bacteria, you know um, you know but it takes out the bad stuff. I'm not really a professional. This is just how I dealt with it, and this is what I do know about it. But I still take this 2 times a day with my meal, and um, it keeps my acne or whatever I'm going through pretty down. And I've noticed when I started taking this one, when I was dealing with folliculitis, that I wasn't getting the the pimples and stuff all over my scalp. It kind of had shrunk everything down to just a small area. So I believe this stuff really does work. Um, I went from using all kinds of shampoos. At that time, when I was before I realized I had folliculitis, I was using herbal essences shampoo, and and with I have oily skin, and I have oily scalp, and I was using shampoos that dried me up, and man, I tell you, that wasn't a good idea either, because I think when you have folliculitis, you have to watch what you put on your scalp, because it can really irritate it. So I was doing some more research, and I came across Selsun Blue medicated, and this stuff right here, I love this stuff. Even though it stinks, it works. I mean, when I started using Selsun Blue medicated shampoos, I tell you that the folliculitis had went down a whole bunch, because I was getting it from here all the way to the back of my head. I was having spots here and there on the top of my head. Man, I tell you that the Selsun Blue stuff, it worked. It kept it tamed, and when you have folliculitis, you have a whole lot of irritation of the scalp, and I tell you that this stuff right here, I can't tell you guys enough that this stuff really worked. It didn't get rid of my problem, but it kept the problem. And another thing that my mom referred me to was taking this apple cider vinegar every day in my water. I would take 2 capfuls of this, and I would drink it. And apple cider vinegar has so many benefits to its name. I know right off the bat that it helps maintain your blood pressure. It cleanses out your system, and there's much more that it does. And I will probably have to do a review on this stuff in another video, because this apple cider vinegar does so many things other than what it did to help me with my folliculitis problem. One of the things that my mom always tells me is to watch what you eat, because whatever you put in your body, you're going to get that. And it finally took me to hear it from someone else, and that was my doctor. I finally had to go to the doctor. My folliculitis got really bad. That fluid was beginning to build up in the back of my scalp, and it was so painful. When I would move my head to each side, I could just feel all the fluid just moving with it. With the touch, it was just so sensitive, and I just couldn't bear the pain anymore, so I had to go visit my doctor. That was the last thing that I wanted to do, was to go to my doctor, but it was the right choice, because my doctor prescribed me to some antibiotics, and I took the antibiotics, and I tell you, my folliculitis went away. Like, it was just gone. After a month or so, I was not dealing with any kind of acne on my scalp, and I was just so relieved, to be done with folliculitis, and to be done with any kind of acne that was appearing on my head. I was just so happy, because it was terrible having it. Still till this day, I have to continue to watch what I eat. You have to, eat the right foods. You have to put in the right foods. You have, to take care of your body. Work out. Even if it is just a walk down the block, or even if it's just a walk around the house, just get up and do something to keep your body in active. Um, I do try to watch what I eat, but I'm not telling you that uh, that I do all the time. Um, I try my best to watch what I eat, but there's times where I'm out and about and I have to grab something that's fast food wise. But you always have to eat in moderation as well. Um, but basically, with having folliculitis, I've had to have a life change, and I had to create new habits and let go of my old habits, because the old habits, I was going nowhere with it because I was getting acne everywhere. And what my doctor did say, and what my mom did say about what you put in your body, you're going to get a well presentation of that on the outside. So, um, you know, folliculitis is no joke. It's no joking matter. If you see one sign of, a flare or irritation, go see a doctor. Sometimes I believe that you could cure it yourself before it gets infected. Folliculitis is the stage where it does get infected, but you could just get scalp acne, and still, when you see signs of that, do your best to keep your hands out of your head, and keep your hair clean, um, and go visit your doctor. I hope this video has helped you gain any kind of knowledge of folliculitis. I hope that I gave you some kind of insight of what things that you could use while using or while dealing with folliculitis. And that is, and I will say this again, is the Selsun Blue. This stuff helped me out tremendously. It stinks really bad, but you can bear the smell for a nice healthy scalp. But if you have any questions, leave your comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe.